Hello, my beautiful movie peeps. Thank you so much for clicking on an episode of Side Flick. My name is Chris. Oh, it has been a busy week here on the channel. So much stuff was coming out and being released. I was kind of drowning to keep up, so I just want to say thank you to you guys who were sticking through with those videos. And it's only going to continue to get busier here on the Spooky Mama month, because next week we got Halloween Ends, and it's going to be the end of that franchise. So I got a couple of Michael Myers videos to get us into that Spooky Mama mood to see the movie. But because everything was so busy, this Side Flick will mainly be me catching up with some news that happened throughout the week that I didn't get to talk about. So sorry if some of this stuff feels like old news, but some of the things we're going to be discussing here today is we got some Madam Web set photos that gives us a look at the villain of the movie with a pretty sweet suit. We got some conversations going on about Black Adam and Superman and what the DCEU is cooking up for us. Even another character from our childhood becoming a horror movie. That along with so much more, so you guys know the drill. Leave me your opinions down below with everything we discuss here today. But without further ado, let's just dive into it. And one of the things that came out early on in the week when I was busy and didn't get a chance to talk about that some of you guys wanted my opinion on is the trailer for Violent Night. Now, I talked about this movie before because it was first revealed at CinemaCon earlier this year, but here Universal finally gave us the trailer with David Harbour playing Santa Claus while he's fighting off a bunch of mercenaries. And I'm not even gonna lie, even though this looks cheesy and campy as hell, I am gonna be tuning in and watching this thing with full excitement. I think that's the purposeful vibe that's going on here. It's supposed to be a little dumb and cheesy. It's Santa Claus beating up people and stabbing them in the eye with ornaments. I don't know how you could expect this to be that serious. To me, this looks like absolute dumb fun, and I kind of wish we would get sort of more movies like this that would just play into the holiday fun while also doing something different that maybe isn't always very family friendly. So yeah, some people might think this looks stupid, but I think Violent Night just looks like a dang good time, so I'm gonna be tuning in, and this trailer gets a treasure from me. Let me know what you guys thought about the trailer for Violent Night and if it's a movie you're gonna be checking out. And I guess since we're on the topic of holiday Christmas movies getting the R-rated treatment, let's talk about this horror movie with the Grinch. So by now, I think a lot of you guys have maybe seen the first look photo or the headline that the Grinch is getting turned into a horror movie. The movie is being called The Mean One, and it is basically described as a Grinch slasher movie spoof. We have a first look photo here of the Grinch that is going to be played by David Howard Thornton, the same man who plays Art the Clown in the Terrifier movies. And this actor does a fantastic job with Art the Clown, so I can only imagine what he's going to do with the Grinch. The official plot for the movie goes as, in the audacious new parody, the Mean One is a hairy green-skinned grump in a Santa suit living on a mountain high above the town of Newville. Despising the holiday season, young Cindy you-know-who, whose parents were butchered by the Mean One 20 Christmases earlier, is returning to town to seek closure, but is about to discover that his fiend with a heart 2 sizes too small is still quite eager to carve the roast beef. I can't believe this parody went from calling Cindy Lou Who to Cindy You Know Who. That reminds me of that one scene from Scary Movie.
Isn't she the daughter of, what do you know? Mrs.
The one and only.
The one and only.
And look, I know there's always people who get all cranky and upset whenever a childhood character gets the horror movie treatment. Okay, I understand, it's your childhood, it's a beloved property, you don't want to get it tainted like that. But in all honesty, we gotta admit, the Grinch is a character that is like perfectly suited to get his own horror movie. It's like built into his DNA. He's a green monster, he hates the holiday, hates people, is also like this maniacal engineer, so he's gonna be crafting some weird stuff. Heck, I've even already seen people say that the original Jim Carrey live action Grinch scared them as kids, so it's already there to be scary for you. To me, this makes way more sense than the Winnie the Pooh horror movie we're about to get. All that's left now is to what the quality of the movie is going to look like, because this is obviously going to be very low budget, probably in the same vein as a Winnie the Pooh movie, and I just want to see some fantastic gory kills that get me into the holiday season. This will be releasing December 15th. I'll be checking it out, probably do a video on it for the channel. What do you guys think about the Grinch becoming a horror villain? Moving on from there, we got a small update concerning the new Transformers movie we're all pretty pumped about, Transformers Rise of the Beast. Recently, Hasbro had a little Investors Day meeting and they showed off some footage for the movie. Unfortunately, we did not get to see that footage, but they did kind of release a first look model of what Optimus Prime is going to be looking like in the movie, and fans are pretty pumped. I know to a lot of us, this might not seem like a big, huge change in design, especially if you go off the Bumblebee look, but if we go back to the Michael Bay Transformers movies and see what Optimus Prime used to look like to what he looks like now, it is a big leaping change, and it is just so nice to see this version of Optimus Prime now getting a full-fledged movie. Because with the Bumblebee movie, he was there in the beginning and then towards the end, and that was all we really got of this G1 version of Optimus Prime. For Transformers Rise of the Beast, I'm pretty sure it's putting him front and center again as the main Autobot, as the main one to lead the team and whatnot. So just to know we're going to get a full movie where we're going to see this version of Optimus Prime, I think is just super exciting. To me, I'm still just dying to see a full HD render of Optimus Primal, that is the ape version of Optimus Prime, an ancestor of his that is coming from the past into the future to interact with these Transformers. At least that's the rumor plot that we've been hearing. With this movie having a release date of June 2023, we can most likely expect to see all this stuff towards Christmas. But throwing it off to you movie fans, how do you feel about this evolution of Optimus Prime from the Michael Bay movies to what he's looking like now? Moving on from there, let's talk about what Sony has done with their Spider-Man universe from what it used to look like back in the day to what is looking like now. Because what the heck are they doing? Earlier in the week, you guys might have seen some set photos that were released online from the upcoming movie Madam Web. Now, there's been so many interesting developments with this movie if you haven't been keeping up. The last we heard, Adam Scott was going to be playing a young Uncle Ben, and that the movie was mainly going to be a version of the Terminator, where our main characters, played by Dakota Johnson and all these other supporting cast members as part of the Madam Web movie, will be helping to make sure that the birth of Peter Parker happens. And now we know who essentially is going to be our Terminator character, this guy right here, in what I think is a pretty sweet looking suit. Now, some people, when we were looking at this image, thought we were looking at Aaron Taylor Johnson, but that is not Aaron Taylor Johnson in his Kraven outfit. The most credible rumor about who exactly this character is Ezekiel Sims. That is a Spider-Man villain, and he's essentially obsessed right now with making sure Peter Parker does not get born, while the Madam Web ladies make sure he does get born. And you know, I'm still always back and forth whether I'm excited for this Madam Web movie, just because, like, it has potential to be something big. You're bringing in a character that can see into the Spider-Verse of all these different characters. You're possibly even bringing some Spider variants into this movie. And even this plot alone kind of intrigued me. And this suit, I think, does look pretty awesome. I feel like this movie is going to be an interesting experiment. And it almost feels like Sony is waiting for Madam Web and the Kraven the Hunter movie, because those are the two films that are currently being shot, or at least close to finish being shooting. And however those movies perform and the audiences take them in is whether they'll continue the spin-off universe or put an end to it. But you know what? Count me intrigued with these set photos. You might reel me in one more time, Sony. So what do you guys think about these set photos concerning Madam Web? Moving on to the DC side of things, there have been so many developments with Black Adam that it's kind of crazy. Essentially, this entire movie is ruined for people. Well, maybe not the story plot points or what exactly is going to be going down beat for beat in the movie, but like with all DC movies lately, the post-credit is spoiled and the big surprise is spoiled. So if you just kind of don't want to know about that, maybe end this side flick. But it was something that, like, everybody was talking about on my Twitter timeline, on Facebook, everywhere. It just got ruined for me, so I might as well just discuss it with y'all. It's also something that we've been hearing for the longest time. Essentially, what's going to be happening is we are going to get that Superman cameo by Henry Cavill. It won't be a faceless Superman cameo like we've gotten 3 other times, and it'll eventually start to tease and set up more Henry Cavill in the universe. Now, one of the scoopers that has given us a lot of this information is they mentioned here is that you can basically thank The Rock, Dwayne Johnson, for making this happen, for bringing Warner Brothers and Henry Cavill into a good relationship where they sign a new contract and we're going to get some more Henry Cavill in our lives. And I guess that's the upside of having The Rock in your universe, because I think you could tell the man is actually passionate, or at least wants to please the fans and give them what they want. And after being asked, like, for the millionth time, when's he gonna fight Superman? Where's Superman? Who is the Superman? He made sure it was Henry Cavill, because that's probably who he has a relationship with. Some people are going even as far as to say that since The Rock got this new deal made with Warner Brothers and Henry Cavill, that they are now gonna make a new Superman movie. Now, that's yet to be seen, and we have heard it like dozens of times over the years. Henry Cavill's back, he's getting a movie. Oh, he's not coming back. No, he is coming back. It's exhausting, and even now I just don't even know what to believe anymore. I think that cameo in Black Adam will let us know whether it is happening or not. And look, even if we put all this nonsense aside, with us fans wondering what's the future of the DCEU, what are they setting up, we still got to ask ourselves, is Black Adam even going to perform well at the box office? I'm excited to see it. All the footage I've seen about this movie actually has me really excited. And right now the movie's like, what, 2 weeks away? I just don't feel the hype. I feel more hype talking about what the movie will bring than actual people wanting to go see the movie. So I don't know. It's just an interesting development, but I do want to hear from you guys. What do you think about this all Black Adam talk involving Superman, Batman, the future of the DCEU? And do you think Black Adam is even going to perform well? A lot is riding on this movie and the future of the DCEU. But that is all movie news we currently have going on right now, guys. I want to thank you so much for taking time out of your day to watch me talk some movie news. Don't be forgetting to hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't already, follow me on Twitter at 3C Films or on TikTok at 3C Films. But as always, I'm Chris. Take care.